Hi. Hey, it's July 5th, 2018, and I'm trying to figure out what to name my website, how to do this. Um, I've been thinking a lot about how to live the way you want to live, the way I want to live. I've watched a lot of people living in small vehicles or small houses, and I happen to own, well, the bank owns a lot of it. A big house, and I like the space, and I live in a spot where it's wintertime, like 7 months out of the year, and so it, to me it isn't very pleasant to be outside in that, a little bit of it, but so I can make my inside that repose for my own peace of mind. So I only have a certain amount of money, and I was trying to think of calling the website something like living big for cheap. But then I looked up what cheap means. So here's what I found on the Google. As an adjective, it means low in price, worth more than its cost. They bought some cheap food, for example. Inexpensive, low price, low cost, economical, competitive, affordable, reasonable, reasonably priced, budget, economy, bargain, down market, cut rate, reduced, discounted, discount, rock bottom, giveaway, bargain basement, low end, dirt cheap. Uh, and then it seems to be associated with negative thoughts. Inexpensive because of inferior quality, cheap, shoddy goods, poor quality, second rate, third rate, substandard, low grade, inferior, vulgar, shoddy, trashy, laudy, tawdy. These all these words are have been considered negative in U.S. Language, I believe, English language. North American, informal, miserly, stingy. She's too cheap to send me a postcard. Parsimonious, tight-fisted. Oh, chintzy, frugal. They just seemed very negative to me. Deserving of contempt, a cheap trick, despicable, contemptible, immoral, unscrupulous, unprincipled, unsavory. Although some of these words can be fun, like vulgar, but that's not really the direction that I wanted to go. So then under dictionary.com, I found cheap, inexpensive. There's a lot of better words here. Low price, low cost, moderate, worth the money. So worth the money, going with that started getting me on an idea of worth, because money is associated with worth, it seems like. I found this article in Psychology Today by Mary Pritchard. Value your money, value yourself. What your relationship with money tells you about your self-worth. And there, I have the link below. This is a story of um, this person that spent more money than she was thinking she was going to, and ended up $20,000 in debt. And then had to face the fact that her values were not what she really felt about herself. Right here, when you're in your 20s and feel invincible, finding out that you got into business for the wrong reasons and managed to accumulate $20,000 in debt because you don't value yourself is a bitter pill to swallow. But swallow it, she did. And then this person moved, and by the time she was 28, she became financially free. And there are several lessons that they say in here that are important. Love, self-love in particular, is the most important thing in life. And you can go on to this and read this article for yourself. Now, for some reason, when I think of money, the word repose comes into my mind. I don't know why. I looked up the definition of it here on Google. It says a state of rest, sleep, or tranquility. I think I'll go along with tranquility. So I thought I'd look up some images for you of non-copyrighted photos that represent repose, tranquility. This, to me, I don't actually think would be really comfortable being out in the middle of the ocean on a balloon. As far as my repose, yes, uh, yes, um, oh, I'm just showing these to you. Whoa, that looks like the person's falling. It doesn't look very comfortable. So, my repose comes usually, though, after some action. So, the next thing I would think that you might wonder is what kind of action is it that causes me to feel repose, tranquility, calmness? So I'll show you if I can get to the spot I need to on this screen cast that I'm using. Well, here's one thing, playing at the park. This is another action I took recently, eating really good food at a wedding I went to. This is another action that I recently took. This car is a car that we've had sitting around for months, and I tried to fix the brakes on it 3 different times and couldn't get it to work right. So it was taking up space, as I'll show you on here. So we're getting rid of that car, but what it makes is, I'll show you in a minute, because it's been sitting here for, and this is our camper too. It's been sitting in the back here for months. Now, part of this story that I want to tell you is, even though we have a lot of stuff sitting around, we're getting rid of, like, there's a dresser over here on the side. This camper we got for a really good deal, unbelievable deal, even though it needs a roof because we have tarp on the top of it. But this house is my house, my big house. And it's got problems. Like, as you can see, the driveway is one of the problems. But there's different things that I've done, such as build this deck area here. When I bought it, the doors just had steps that were like at a trailer home. But let's see if I can go back a little bit on here. Oops. Okay, I shrunk the picture so I can go back a little more, a little more, a little more, a little more. Oh, I guess you can't see it. But this is the side, part of the side of my house where I have a car and we have the camper. We have another car that can fit in the driveway, and I can fit another car back where the garbage is back here in the wintertime. So we can fit a lot of vehicles on here on this property. And in the town that I live in, it's legal to have a camper in your driveway, although you're not supposed to live in it, but you can keep it, you can store it in your driveway. So that's pretty cheap storage. So this is another action. I'm getting ready to go swimming. There's my grandson in the background. And this is a little part of my house with a washer and dryer, and I also am working on it to have it be a little kitchen area. Here's another action that I do. I smoke cigarettes while I'm driving when I'm by myself, and I am getting ready to go to work, and here's my work uniform. But I work part-time, which makes enough money for me to live and enjoy my free time. This is another action that's very important for me, is running around and playing with my grandchildren and getting exercise. It's great fun. So this is another example, even though the background is messy, but it was hot. So air conditioner, get it, put it in the window, feels better, action. Then I can feel repose. Another example of taking some action is going to the community festival and dancing with some of the people at the Renaissance Fair. Let's see that again, just for the heck of it. Oops, wait, back farther. We also have some cats, so playing with the cats and taking care of them is action, and it results in a lot of repose. Okay, so some action. This is part of the yard to the side, and there's a lot of stuff overgrowing, and so then I'm trimming it and working on it. You wouldn't believe what happened to it, though. I'll have to do a video on it because it just completely overgrew. It overgrew, and even though I cut so much, it looks like you wouldn't even believe it. You can't even see like out of the corner of the fence over to the side, and I can't even see my neighbors. That's my neighbor's driveway. But there are lots of berries that grew up in there, and they're delicious. And so action and calmness comes together for me. Part of my action was I really like fruit, and so I planted fruit trees in my yard, and here you can see blossoms, and we're going to have lots of yummy fruit. Another action that I really like is investigation, and some of it involves doing research, some of it involves actually being out on the field. And here I am with some grandchildren. We're walked way up on top of this. It's called Devil's Staircase, and this is at the top of it. The way the rock looks intrigues me because it looks even like some people will say it's a natural formation, but it also looks like a megalith structure to me. I'm just going to show you this short little video that I made. We're at Double Staircase, Janesville, Wisconsin, May 5th, 2008. This is another action I've decided to take. I've decided that I want to grow to be old, and right now I have outlived some of my friends, but I'm getting gray hair and wrinkles seem to be growing like crazy. Isn't it amazing? Here I am relaxing, and that is action. Repose. I'm valuing myself. Taking action, cooking things I love. Taking action, finding a new stove on Craigslist for hardly any money at all. Delivery cheap as heck, like 10 bucks. When my old stove, the burner fried itself. It was great, and then I could relax and cook again. So this is the old stove, and the element caught fire. We were just sitting, we were going to make something and turn the oven on. It caught fire, and sparks were flying out of it. And the action I took was putting baking soda on it, which is this pile of white stuff that you see sitting there. So the electrical element, I don't know if you can see, completely came off back there. Oh my god. That was creepy as hell. Burning. So I surrounded it with baking soda, but it's still burning. So that's the element on fire. And then what we ended up doing is taking that stove outside, putting an ad on Craigslist, and somebody picked it up for free because they can take it somewhere and they can get money off of it. And I don't have a truck right now, so it worked for everybody. Part of my investigation and action is also paying attention to the sky, and it was the sky. Please subscribe. I'm planning on having plenty of fun, interesting videos. This is just the start. I'm grateful for you, and I'm here at your service. Bye-bye now. Oh, How do I turn it up?